And Al-Imam, in a poetic verse, expressed it all. He said, أشكو إلى الله عجري وبجري شفيت نفسي وقتلت معشري. I complain to Allah concerning all the sad and known events. I have cured myself but killed my people. It may not come out as harsh, it may not be as harsh in Arabic as it is in the English translation, but it captures the moment. How can we go forward when we are consuming our own selves? Doesn't this portion of our history invite us to learn from it? And if it does, why don't we learn? Why can't we understand the meanings of dissent? How far can we pursue an independent political idea? And when does that independent political idea turn against our own selves? How come we haven't worked that out yet? And how come today we have what is called fanatics and extremists? How come we have them today rehearse for us the same lessons that we are supposed to have already learned? Which means something very simple. We just haven't learned from ourselves. ولا تطرد الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه. Don't expel those from your company who are seeking Allah from the beginning of the day until the end of the day, sincerely devoted to Allah's direction and to His majesty. Why are we today, some of us, prone to falling into this sectarian and this nationalist problem? Muslims today, we can simply say we have a nationalist, we have some Muslims who are nationalists, and we have other Muslims who are sectarian. Okay, we can see who's sectarian and nationalist today. But is this the first time that we have these types of Muslims? Or did we have them during that time also? These dissidents who took their holier-than-thou opinion to the war field, to the war and battlefields, to kill other Muslims, those were the first sectarians in Islam. And that Qamis Uthman attitude that wanted to revive the nationalism of Mecca was the first nationalism in Islam. But some of us cannot connect our present with our past, because some of us know what is happening today but are unaware of what happened then. And then some of us have a scholarly head about what happened then, but cannot connect and relate what happened then and there with what is happening here and now. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ادعوه سبحانه وأنتم على يقين بالإجابة وتوبوا إلى الله غافر الذنب وقابل التوب شديد العقاب وإليه المصير. ادعوا الله وأنتم على يقين بالإجابة. الحمد لله الذي هدى صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا المصطفى وعلى آله وصحبه أولي النهى والتقى. Brothers and sisters, committed Muslims, in today's world, what we observe and see is much less than what is concealed and concocted behind the scenes. We know from reading and understanding Allah and His Prophet that we have an external hand that is locked with an internal hand, both of these trying to undermine our common Islamic future. We see the world today and we realize how the foreign powers have intruded by the use of arms into our own homes, homelands, and even psychologies. Who can deny today that from the choice of words that they use to the last invention of arms and military prowess that they have, that the internal and external enemies are not working together? Who can deny that? But brothers and sisters, you don't know a person such as yours meekly, who reads about these events of ours at that early time of dawn in our history. When you read about this in the many sources and references that there are, you don't get the impression or the idea that there is an internal hand that is interlocking with the external hand. Remember, at that time of Islamic extension into the regions of the world, there were two superpowers that were defeated. Much like today, when one superpower has been defeated and the other one is in the process. You mean to tell me human nature has changed? What we see today is not what was happening then. But the people who were busy writing the history of that time, their historical books that we read today, or their books of history that we read today, does not make reference to the interlocking of the external with the internal enemy. This is like a blind spot that we have, and because we don't even think about ourselves, it continues to have its deadly effects on us up until now. The time has long lapsed. We should now be able to take a healthy look at our history and at our current affairs. Learn from our past to avoid the mistakes of our present and our future. Otherwise, the price is very, very prohibitive. The price will be our blood and our lives. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه ولا تجعله ملتبسا علينا واجعلنا للمتقين إماما